we're Team Anubis, and this is our Egyptian report. I'm Grace, and I'm going to be doing Walk Like an Egyptian.
I'm Alice, and I'm doing Fast Facts. I'm Destiny Cassidy, and I'm doing hieroglyphics.
I'm Dakota Spence, and I'm doing pyramids.
Come and take a trip to ancient Egypt, featuring everyday life, hieroglyphics, pyramids, and fun facts. And when you stay at the Sphinx Hotel, you will get a free camel on your pillow.
The scribes were the main ones who wrote in the hieroglyphics. They wrote in pyramids and walls. This is a couple of symbols of an alphabet. There is actually about 700 symbols, but just one symbol alone can mean each, I don't know, I messed that apart. 3 different symbols can mean one symbol alone. Hieroglyphics were an important thing in history. Hieroglyphs were on tombs and pyramids. Did you know there was hieroglyphics on tombs? That's a piece of history. This is the Rosetta Stone, a very important piece of history, or hieroglyphics. The history, it was found 200 years ago. This is Demotic script. This is what the Greeks wrote. If you're wondering why I'm talking about Greeks, it's because after Alexander the Great took over Egypt, the Greeks moved in Egypt. Then hieroglyphics started fading away. Everyone in Egypt started writing in Demotic script. They used it for only the fanciest writings. For many years, archaeologists could not find out what hieroglyphics said until they found the Demotic script. It was in pyramids, which told them all about the answers to the history of Egypt. Then we put them in books, taught students, and learned some stuff on Egypt. And that's like a story. This is the god crane with hieroglyphics telling a story.
Did you know that the first pyramid was built by Pharaoh Sneferu, and it was 306 feet tall? Did you know that the first pyramid was built by Pharaoh Djoser? Did you know that they say that aliens helped them build the pyramids? The height of the first pyramid was 204 feet tall, 62 meters. The pharaohs were buried in pyramids for many different shapes and sizes, from before the beginning of the Old Kingdom to the end of the Middle Kingdom. The ancient Egyptians built pyramids as tombs for the pharaohs and their queens. The 3 largest and best preserved of these were built in Giza after the beginning of the Old Kingdom. Pharaoh Pepil built the Pyramid of Pepil in 2250 BC. It is 172 feet tall. There are about 80 pyramids known today from ancient Egypt. Did you know that it took 30,000 people to build one pyramid? Pharaoh Khufu built the Great Pyramid. He built it in 2550 BC, and it was 481 feet tall. Did you know that Pharaoh Khafre built the Pyramid of Khafre? He built it in 2520 BC. It was 471 feet tall. Pharaoh Menkaure built the Menkaure Pyramid. He built it in 2490 BC. It was 213 feet tall. The most well-known of these pyramids was built for the Pharaoh Khufu. It is known as the Great Pyramid. All of the pyramids. This is the Great Pyramid. And this is the Pyramid of Pepil. This is the Pyramid of Khafre. And this is all the pyramids that the Egyptians built. And that's a random camel.
Fast facts. 500 BC is the first evidence of people settling along the Nile Delta. In 4000 to 3500 BC, Amoratian Society of Upper Egypt first signs of hieroglyphical civilization. 3200 BC, hieroglyphics develops. In 3000 BC, irrigation increased farmland. In 2890 to 2686, wooden coffins and corpses wrapped in resin. In 1560 BC, war between Thebes and Azatus ruler. 1336 to 1327 BC, region of Tutankhamun. 1069 BC was the Civil War. 1069 BC, mummification techniques improved. 332 BC, Alexander the Great invades Egypt. 300 BC, the Temple of Isis was built on the island of Philae in the Nile River. This is one of the pharaohs. Egyptians believed the earth looked like a pancake. They also believed the sky was flat and the earth, and they thought it was held up with 4 poles so that the air could flow between the earth and the sky. Anybody at the age of 15 and over could read and write. For almost 30 centuries from its unification, around 3100 BC to its conquest by Alexander the Great in 332 BC, ancient Egypt was the preeminent civilization, the Mediterranean world. The main source of information about ancient Egypt were the many monuments, objects, and artifacts that have been recovered from archaeological deciphered. The picture that emerges of a culture with few equals in the beauty of its art, the accomplishment of its architecture, of the richest religious traditions. The ancient Egyptian civilization endured more than 5,000 years, and its peak was one of the richest and most powerful in the world. More than 300 years long history of ancient Egypt has been divided into 8 or 9 divisions. And these are people building.
Hello, in Egyptian. Since you're reading this right now, you probably want to find out about ancient Egypt, right? Let's hear it from the voices of 3 typical Egyptian residents. Abiyomi. Al-Salam al-Kam. I'm Abiyomi, and today you are going to learn about my life here in ancient Egypt. First off, I'm going to check the date on the new 365-day calendar us Egyptians invented. So today, according to the calendar, I'm going to do a lot of work for the pharaoh. You may know him as Lord of 2 lands or High Priest of every temple. But first I must go to scribe school, where I will learn the ancient script of hieroglyphics we invented. After that comes the real work. I must write ancient proclamations on a cave wall, and some of them onto a script. Then I must assist the pharaoh's assistant in the mummification of the old pharaoh. Pyramid building comes next, and then I have about 10 minutes to eat lunch. After, I'll be worshiping our gods. and then going back to scribe school to learn about Cleopatra, our old pharaoh, who dressed like a man to fool Egyptians into thinking she was a boy. Finally, when it is beginning to get dark, I will go down to the river Nile and gather some crops for dinner. Then my family and I will eat and sleep, then make up for a new day in wonderful ancient Egypt. But it's time for me to go do my work for the pharaoh, so I'm just going to walk like an Egyptian out of here. Shion. Oh, I didn't see you there. You want to learn about my day? Well, so far I've eaten breakfast, drawn some pictures on a wall. Did you know that we draw all men dark and all women light? And went to the temple to have scribe school. Some of the really young children aren't wearing clothes until they're 6. I've read some spells from the Book of the Dead, which isn't a real book, and just found out I've inherited the job of a scribe from my father. We children are more important than our parents in Egypt. Tonight we will have so much fun having a party, sailing, fishing, and listening to music. I've worshipped our God, but since he didn't fulfill my wish, I slapped him with a reed. We aren't afraid of our gods like the wimpy Mesopotamians. I've got to go, though. I hear my mother calling for dinner. Bakari. Ah! Oh, just humans. You scared me. What were you thinking walking through Egypt at night? You want to learn about my day? Sure, why not? Since we have the longest recorded history, a lot could happen in a day. With the 54 million other Egyptian residents, I had a pretty typical day, tending to the Sphinx, a 240-foot-long, 66-foot-high Catman statue. I ate bread and full, broad beans, and washed it down with some delicious sweetened coffee and tea. Sometimes we have some goat milk, sheep milk, or buffalo milk. The daytime temperature around here is 100 degrees, so I clothed myself with white robes, put on my makeup, and wore some reed sandals. I'm getting tired, though, so you better go. Bye. Don't you want to experience these things? Call now at 555-555-5556 to reserve a seat. Warning, Egypt is not responsible for attacks on swimmers by hippos, crocodiles, boa constrictors, or cobra bites. Any questions? Call 555-565-565 for answers or log on to www.youwishyouwereinegypt.com.org. Don't believe me? That Egypt is awesome? Take it from them.
Ancient Egypt rocks. It's so warm. The sights are beautiful.
I agree. The Nile was cool. It's the best vacation ever.
Oh yeah, I love ancient Egypt. The girls there are so hot. I got a sunburn on my first day.
Come and take a trip to ancient Egypt. Just this week, I'll show you how cooking is. Business that include manufacturing, racing, traveling, disgrace, consumer, Allison Travel, Disney, Cassie, Dakota Spence. For information, call 555-565-565 or log on to www.youwishyouwereinegypt.com.org. Not finding what you're looking for? Call 456-789-1011 for additional assistance. Why do the people always read these on my so fast? Do they want us to hear them back? It's not. And why is it always the same dude voice? Oh well, these words are really small. Go, what else do I put in here? Oh yeah, lawsuits and stuff. Okay, so if you don't get what you want, get a half-price refund. All accidents that happen are not a responsibility. www.youwishyouwereinegypt.com.org is not responsible for any viruses your computer gets. If you get sick or injured in ancient Egypt, we are not responsible for paying the bills. Sorry, anything else? No, I guess not. See you in ancient Egypt. Call 555-555-5556 now to reserve a suite. Must be 10 years old or older to order.
Very nice.